friends, how are you today? Welcome to 5-ish Minute Devotionals. Today we are going to stay in the book of Genesis the way we were last week, reading again from the Growing in God's Love Story Bible. And today we are going to talk pretty specifically about the soil, the soil, the earth, where everything comes from, right? Where everything grows from and starts from is with that good, rich, deep soil. And that's what we're going to talk about a little today. Reading a story called We Were All Farmers Once that is based on Genesis chapter 2, verses 4b through 22. And this is the way this story goes. This is another story that God's people told about the beginning of the world. In this story, they wanted to tell us why they were farmers. They wanted to tell us why being farmers kept them alive and why farmers keep everyone alive. Long ago, God made the very first person who ever lived. God took the best, richest, darkest, thickest soil from the ground. God shaped this soil into someone who looked like you and me. Then God breathed God's own breath into this person. The first person took the first ever breath. Then, in the same best, richest, darkest, thickest soil that God made the first person from, God planted a big farm. God planted the most beautiful fruit trees and the biggest golden fields of grain. God said to the first farmer, "Be good to the rich soil I made you from. Farm it carefully. Grow the best fields and orchards you can. All your food will come from them, and you'll need food to stay alive." Pretty soon, God thought, wait, one farmer can't do all this work alone. So from the same best, richest, darkest, thickest soil, God made all the farm animals to help the farmer. God made big oxen to carry loads, sheep and goats to give wool and milk. God even made dogs and cats to keep the farmer company. God decided this was a good time to make all the wild animals too, so God did. Pretty soon, God thought, wait, we need a family. Just one person with all these animals? That will never work. So God made another person, and then the world had two parents who could start a family and work on their farm together. Long ago, all families were farmers who grew all the food they ate on their own farms. Today, most families aren't farmers. But here's the thing. All the food your family eats, farmers somewhere have grown for you. Do you know who they are and where their farms are? Did you ever think about that? The fact that unless some families grow a lot of their own food at home, but most families don't. And even if your family does grow some food at home, probably not most of it, right? So the food that your family gets from the grocery store or from the farmer's market, did you ever stop and think about where it comes from and who grew that for you? And that it all does go back to that good, rich, deep, dark soil, right? The very stuff of the earth, the ground, the dirt. And that we need to take care of that. Even if we are not growing the food in our own dirt at home, somebody's growing that food somewhere in dirt. And it's for all of us to take care of it for each other, right? We have to take care of that soil, which is where everything comes from, the goodness and the nutrients that grow into everything that come from that soil. And we need to take care of that so that there's enough good food to feed all of God's people. So what are some things that we can be doing at home? We're not farmers here in Redondo Beach and Torrance, right? We are not farmers, even if we grow a little bit of stuff at home. But what can we do? So we can be aware of that soil and things that we do, like making sure we don't litter, that we don't, dump chemicals into the ground or into the water, that we take care of it in any way that we can. We can also plant at home flowers, vegetables, fruits. We can plant those things and take care of ourselves a little bit with some of the own food that we grow for ourselves. And then maybe if you do grow something for yourself at home, who can you share it with? If you have something that you're growing at home right now, even if it's flowers that you've grown from seed, or if you have fruit or you have vegetables, maybe talk as a family about, is there somebody in our church family or somebody in your neighborhood who would really appreciate just a bouquet of fresh flowers that you grew at home, or some vegetables from your garden if you have a vegetable garden at home. Or if you don't have a garden at home, it's really easy to get the things to make bread with, right? So even if you just went and made a fresh loaf of bread and took to somebody, just as a way of caring for one another. And it can help you remember that once upon a time, that's how everybody did things, right? We were all farmers once, and we still need to do what we can today to take care of that soil, take care of the earth, and remember that it feeds all of us and keeps all of us going, and all the animals too, right? So just be thinking about that this week. Be thinking about the soil, be thinking about the food, be thinking about where your food came from. Pray for the hands that grow your food if you're not growing it at home. All of these are little things that we can do to help remember where everything came from, and that to honor the people who make our food and grow our food today. And I will leave you now with the blessing that we end with every week. On this day and all days, may the Spirit of God swirl around you and leave you with a grin. And may that grin turn into a smile, and may that smile turn into an act of loving kindness. And together we will be a chorus of love, living in the way of Jesus in our community. Amen. Be well, my friends. Have a great week.